What's going on, everyone? I am excited to be back with some more shenanigans here for the channel with some Snoke troopers that we've got brewing over here, utilizing some of the new Battle for Hoth intro set cards, and I cannot wait to dive into some games today. Big thank you to my patrons over on Patreon, guys. Thank you for supporting the channel. But let's talk about Snoke Tarkentown, what we're doing today, and how we are utilizing these troopers for some mega value. So, first things first, why Snoke? Well, it's basically Tarkin, but the ability's a little bit better, and the deploy's a little bit later. So, if Tarkin, or if Snoke rather, was 5 to deploy, this would be perfect. I do like Tarkin's earlier to deploy, but the fact that you're limited to Imperial units means that things like First Order Stormtrooper, Guavian Antagonizer aren't able to be played on turn 1 and given an experience token. Things like Bo-Katan or HK-47 or Sith Legionnaire all do not work with Tarkin's ability, so we went with Snoke instead. The idea here is we're playing a bunch of aggro troopers. We're utilizing Precision Strike and hopefully Captain ENOCH. We're going to try him out a little bit today. And an old callback to General Tog, giving us some experience to troopers to hopefully run down some opponents today. In terms of the new cards from the Battle for Hoth set, again, for those of you that don't know what this is, it's an intro set. Most of the cards are pretty weak. There were very few that I even were considering as playable. One of them's Snow Trooper. This is just a 1/3 1 cost trooper. With Snoke, this becomes a 2/4 on turn 1, which isn't horrible. It's basically just a worse HK with the trooper tag, however, which can be reasonable. The other card that I do find very, very powerful is actually Hoth Lieutenant. This is, well, I should say very, very powerful. It seems decent. Very, very powerful for the intro set. This is a 3/4 cost Imperial Trooper that says when played you may attack with another unit and it gains +2/+0 for this attack. So it's a Fleet Lieutenant, but for the villainy side of things, it's 1 extra cost for 1 extra toughness. Definitely not worth that 1 extra toughness for 1 extra cost. But Fleet Lieutenant's been an absolute staple, so paying 1 extra for it and getting a little bit extra stats seems reasonable, as Fleet Lieutenant's like a great card. I think Hoth Lieutenant's at least going to be a decent option. I don't expect some of these cards to like perform exceptionally crazy well. I'm hoping to be surprised with the new Snoke. Captain ENOCH, not all of our units are troopers, because it would be really tricky to play all troopers and not get these excellent value cards like HK as an example. The other one is General Tog. We've played Tog decks so often, and every single time I feel like I'm not able to get more than like 1 experience token. So we're going to see if we can get more than that today. And we're hoping that we can run down some opponents. Again, we're going to be running down with some trooper aggro, and hopefully we can get there. Let's get into it. Alrighty, and starting us off, we've got ourselves a Han 2 Data Vault, which is going to be a fun one. We got Tog, we had double Tog, but we have HK as our other unit, which is not a trooper. So we're going to go to mulligan this one and hopefully find a little bit of a better couple of options here. We got ENOCH, we got HK. Honestly, HK looks pretty reasonable. The phase 3 probably is going to be the resource. And then do I want to get rid of the Battle Fury, or do I want to get rid of HK or Bo-Katan? I think I actually want to get rid of HK just because it's going to be unlike, oh, well, I guess we got to start with Bo-Katan then. That stinks. Grogu on turn 1 is a brutality, to be sure. That is an absolutely disgusting card and probably going to prevent us from even playing this game, but that's okay. We're gonna go Guavian Antagonizer, and we're gonna see what we can do with this. All right, let's go with Battle Fury. We gotta knock out Grogu immediately. There isn't really an option that we have here. We will discard the First Legion, so our First Order Stormtrooper. That's gonna be another trooper in our discard pile, and we'll pass. We got Grand Inquisitor and Hoth Lieutenant. Let's resource the Grand Inquisitor. We just need to get rid of Grogu. The game is like unplayable with Grogu on the battlefield. They're gonna trade here. That is actually totally fine for us. I am going to go ahead and give an experience token over to the Guavian Antagonizer and get in for oh my gosh, it's Poe Dameron. Like, how is this game even playable for us? Oh my gosh, the Grogu just messed up all of our plans here. But Enoch's a 4/5. That's not bad at all. Let's go with the HK-47 as the resource, because we're probably going to drop in an experience token from Snoke and then Hoth Lieutenant something. I mean, Han Solo is an absolutely brutal leader for this deck to go up to when they have Grogu on the battlefield. I mean, Grogu is just so absurdly good. I'm going to go Wrecker. Oh my gosh, guys. I mean, how is this even playable for us? You know, sometimes things like this just happen and you are feeling pretty brutalized. All right, let's just go with Guavian Antagonizer as the actually, you know what, let's put Daring Raid in the resource pile. Oh my gosh, it is crazy, by the way. Yeah, let's see what they decide to do here. I mean, we could ride Snoke all the way to the victory line potentially. Oh my gosh, they have blue leader. Oh my gosh. I mean, I can't. This game, guys, is so ridiculously one-sided. It's insane. My opponent has had literally such an insane curve for what we're trying to do here. I mean, it is crazy. Let's deploy Snoke. And I mean, yeah, let's just put Battle Fury on him and let's go to town, right? I mean, there's not much else that we could do. We are just going to give an experience token. That's an 8. I mean, they have like lethal on board, basically. That's precision fire and trooper. You know, sometimes you just have these games where like, oh yeah, I'm gonna do some things, and they got the Grogu, and then they had, oh my gosh, what an incredible. Most people aren't even playing blue leader or Wrecker in these decks anyway, so it's kind of surprising. And like Anakin, this seems like a very, very old school list here that we are seeing. Let's go ahead and just knock out Han. We'll discard a card. It's fine. It's not great. It's not fine, to be honest. It's not fine at all. And they have Rebellious Hammerhead. Yeah. I mean, it's crazy. I mean, honestly, I mean, they could just kill us, to be honest. I'm surprised they're even bothering with these like trades here. Definitely playing a little bit more of like a value game, I suppose. But yeah, they could have just ignored Snoke, to be honest, and it would have been over. It's just this game was just completely over. Like turn 1, it was like over with Grogu, to be honest. GG. Alrighty, into our game number 2. Let's hopefully not fight up against a bunch of Grogus today. I mean, it's very possible that could happen. I'm gonna mulligan that first hand. It wasn't looking all that enticing. This, on the other hand, does look like a pretty good hand. I'm actually going to resource the Enoch and probably the Overwhelming Barrage. I got a nice curve here. Antagonizer plus Daring Raid on turn 1, and then Grand Inquisitor turn 2. And I do really, really like the Daring Raid here. Mainly because it's going to stop them from getting the Force. And that's going to be a key factor in this game, I'd imagine. Let's knock out Yaddle. Pass. We've got, okay, another Enoch here. I think Enoch's going to be the resource here. And we'll see what my opponent decides to do on turn number 2 here. Okay, I mean, honestly, not a problem. I'm just going to go with an experience token. Remember, Guavian Antagonizer does have Saboteur. And that means that, yeah, they're going to force through us. That's totally fine, by the way. Let's get rid of the Grand Inquisitor. We're just going to knock out the Lothwolf. You know, just take it out. I mean, I could hit the base, but that means that my first order stormtrooper can't hit base next turn anyways, so I may as well just, you know, get in the value while I can. And ooh, okay, we've got the Tog here, guys. I mean, I could go Antagonizer plus Tog plus experience this turn, or I could resource the Antagonizer, just go with my guaranteed good play, which is the Hoth Lieutenant. I think this is going to be a nice one. All right, I guess, you know what? It happens. What do I want to do here? Let's go with, oh my gosh, it's so obnoxious, actually. Hoth Lieutenant, Lothwolf. They can take 1 indirect damage. I mean, they just take 1 under their Lothwolf, and it's fine for them. I would have much preferred to resource the other unit now. I would have much preferred Tog in this situation. They're going to claim initiative. We're going to attack in for 3. Pass. We've got a phase 3 Dark Trooper. I'm going to keep the Bo-Katan, actually, though, because Bo-Katan plus General Tog plus experience token from Snoke is a little bit more enticing to me. So I think I'd rather do that. I'm a little bit worried about some Sentinels dropping into the game right now. We're going to be relying on some big events coming in, but we will see exactly what is going to be happening here. Let's just go with Bo-Katan here. My opponent's going to put a shield token on the Kanan, and that's fine, because now we can go Tog, and then we can go 1, 2, 3. Okay, we did it, guys. We did it with Tog. I mean, it is here. It is now. We have done it. I'm feeling pretty good at this point. This antagonizer is going to do some major work here, which is crazy, by the way. I mean, how crazy is that? We just knocked out the Kanan there. We're going to get in for 4, pass, and ooh, that is exactly what I wanted to see. I'm going to resource just so I can get the Snoke down, but Battle Fury is the type of card that we really wanted to see at the top end of this curve. They may just go with Force Throw, though. We will see what they decide to do. I may just go Battle Fury on one of my units immediately instead of just trying to go with Snoke. I mean, yep, they're going to try to get rid of Battle Fury. This is fine, to be honest. I am totally not worried about this at all. My opponent going with the Force Throw, they're doing this where it's like, oh, I'm going to get rid of their cards in hand. But to be honest, I don't think the battle is what I could be playing. It's the fact that they're about to be kind of ran through with a bunch of units here, which is very scary for them. So they're going to deploy the Kanan. That's fine. Let's just get in for 5 here with the Bo-Katan, and then we'll deploy Snoke, and then we will get in some damage here. Deploy Snoke, and then we can attack in. Attack in, we'll give the experience to Snoke. Pass, Force Choke, Grand Inquisitor. That's fine. We'll keep both. Again, I'm a little bit worried about Sentinels, so let's see what they've got. The Sabine's Masterpiece can heal up 2 damage. So that's pretty good. They double Force Throw, and they had double Sentinel, and they had 2 healers, and even a 3rd healer if you could consider Sabine's Masterpiece. So kind of what they're looking for up against us. These Sentinels definitely going to get in the way for sure. Force Stroke looks pretty good, though. Let's see what my opponent's got. The Saboteur with Guavian Antagonizer came in absolutely clutch, by the way. Let's just get in. And now they are forced to take initiative or have some sort of Sentinel, right? So I think I'm liking my position here. Yeah, we're going to play Grand Inquisitor. I mean, I'm going to play something just because they have 7 resources up. So it would be super crazy to expect my opponent to have nothing here. I'm going to claim initiative because, again, the 2 resources now means that it's unlikely for them to have something. They've got like a Lothwolf as a Sentinel. They could have like a Force Throw, but even if they Force Throw, they couldn't deal with both Snoke and Inquisitor. So yeah, they're just going to get into base, and they have Sabine Wren. Sure. Precision Fire would have given us the win anyways because it's going to give the Snoke Saboteur. So we'll just do that, and that's going to be GG. All right. Not absurdly difficult game for that one compared to the previous one. Oh my gosh. All righty, we got Piet Colossus, and of course, I've got like 18 or 9, I don't even know, 20 plus turn 1 plays, and I have none of them in hand besides the Force Chokes. Jeez. All right, there we go. Much better. I'm going to get rid of probably the Snow Trooper and honestly probably the Battle Fury. Or maybe it's not. No, I'm going to trust that I'm going to grab another Trooper here. That's what I'm going to trust. I'm going to trust there's another Trooper in my future. I'm going to trust. And hopefully I will not regret that. Let's see. Piet Colossus. Could be, oh, they're just going to claim initiative. All right, let's just go first order and then experience. Daring Raid looks pretty bad here. My opponent most likely has like Power of the Dark Side, which is why I went with the Stormtrooper over the Sith Legionnaire, just because they are probably going to defeat it, which means we're going to be able to deal 1 damage to them. That was pretty much the whole story there. Let's go Stormtrooper, Sith Legionnaire. Force Choke, going to be pretty bad. Again, don't really care about that as my opponent probably is going to have a bunch of removal. So, yeah. Power of the Dark Side. Wow, who would have guessed? Hoth Lieutenants get in for 6. And that's going to be the nature of the game, guys. It's going to be the nature of the game. It's just going to be me playing a unit, them killing it, me playing a unit, them killing it, and we're just going to keep on going forever like that. Wow, another Power of the Dark Side. Who would have guessed? Not I. Not I at all. We are going to just get in for 4, and then they'll probably kill my Sith Legionnaire, and then we'll play another unit, and wow, we're just gonna keep going back and forth, aren't we? Okay. Actually, the Tog's got to be the resource here. I think I have to knock out the Piet, because now they can't play any big capital ships, which might be something I'd be worried about. You're gonna go Pershing, huh? I'm just gonna get in damage. I know I could get another damage in by putting an experience token on my Enoch, but I'd rather just get the damage in guaranteed. Merciless Contest, sure. Wow, that is a lot of 3 cost removal, by the way. They had double Merciless Contest, double Power of the Dark Side, which is kind of crazy. This Enoch's kind of popping off, I'm not gonna lie. Price on your head, sure. Let's go and deploy Snoke, and then we will play Sith Legionnaire, and then we're gonna attack in, and Enoch's gonna be super strong. Pass, got a couple units in hand, we can just keep all those. Let's see what my opponent's got. Maybe they have like a Devastator or an Avenger or something like that coming down. I'm not sure what they could have here. They can't have a Super Laser Blast, which is why I deployed Snoke, because I'm expecting to be able to get another attack in. Oh, they have a frigate. Wow. Well, that means GG for us. Let's just play out all our units. We Tog, pump up these units, get in, and that's a bunch of damage, and that's going to be GG. So GG to my opponent. Very, very interesting game. They had a lot of removal that game, but these types of removal where it's like Merciless Contest, Power of the Dark Side, up against the player that's going wide usually doesn't work all that well. And I mean, the Hoth Lieutenant did work, right? I mean, I don't know. Is this better than, I mean, what other 4-drop could we play? I mean, a million. Relentless Rocket Droid, which is a 5/5 trooper instead. I mean, who knows if that would have been just better than this in this stage. I don't remember exactly the exact sequence, but I could see that have been being better. But Enoch for sure. I mean, Enoch was hitting for, you know, it was a 5/5. That's pretty impressive. 3 cost 5/5. That's pretty nice. Alrighty, into the next one, and it's time for a very, very tough test here, which is the Talzin Reds of the world. Ooh boy, is this one gonna be a tough one. Let's resource the Hoth Lieutenant and the Sith Legionnaire. I think I'm gonna have to lean on this Overwhelming Barrage a little bit. I'm very happy to have Daring Raid. Hopefully I can go Guavian Antagonizer. Ugh. No, I can't do it, guys. I can't do it. I was hoping a Daring Raid their first play so they couldn't get the Force, but you know what? Sometimes you can't do it. Now they're just gonna force throw us or force throw themselves, and it's gonna be a real sad time for me anyways. All right, well, we'll take the Secret of Sage out. We'll take it, you know. We'll see what they've got. They can't use the Force to at least knock out my Guavian Antagonizer just from the Talzin action. Man, Talzin action's so good up against us too. They're claiming initiative. Oh, okay. I mean, maybe we've got something here then. Maybe we got something. Let's go ahead and drop another experience token over on the Guavian Antagonizer. We've got ourselves the Bo-Katan and the Daring Raid. I think I will resource the Enoch. I mean, it is a 1/5 right now, and even if both my units die right now, it's a 2/5. And even if Bo-Katan dies too, it's a 3/5. Just not that exciting, to be honest. We'll see what they have as a follow-up. Maybe they have Darth Tyrannus. They're going to force throw us. That was their play. Force throw us with nothing on board. All right, I'm going to go Bo-Katan. Bo-Katan, Daring Raid plus Snoke action seems pretty reasonable here. I mean, I'm very surprised as to what happened here. They have nothing? Really? Oh, okay. I mean, sure, I guess. Get rid of the other Daring Raid here. I mean, this General Tog isn't really doing a crazy amount. I mean, even if they deploy Talzin here, we can Overwhelming Barrage, knock out Talzin immediately, which is what we're going to do here. And I mean, after that, I mean, what are they going to be able to do? I don't really know. Yeah. Talzin's Assassin, use the Force, kill off Bo-Katan or something. Let's see. What is this at? If I attack in 4, yeah, it would die. mean, it is a force unit. I think I can play it a little safer by killing off the Talzin's assassin. It's a little bit awkward because I think I want to be the aggressor here, but I have Snoke deploy and they don't have leader deploy anymore, so I think we're pretty advantaged. And that was a nice draw. I do like the force choke here, actually. That gives us a really nice allocation of resources. We can go Stormtrooper, Force Choke, Snoke Action, plus Daring Raid, which all looks pretty solid for me. And we still have the Tarkin Town available, which is really, really nice. So don't mind that at all. The thing I was thinking about there is like, okay, if I attack base here, which would have been totally fine, by the way, it would have been 7 extra damage on base, it would have been 18. If they had like an attack here, then they can get the force, and then they can Darth Tyrannus us, or, you know, play another Talzin's assassin as an example. It could have a lot of different things here. I'm actually just going to immediately force choke the Talzin's assassin to prevent them from force throwing us. If I'm going to play force choke this turn, I may as well play it right now. And now if they force through us, we can just discard the Daring Raid. We're just going to keep them off of having any sort of force options. And the HK is even going to give us an extra point of damage into their base. And look at that, they do have the force throw, which is totally fine. Let's go ahead and give an experience token over to HK. And I'm feeling pretty good. We're going to go Death Star Stormtrooper, deploy Snoke, attack, and pass. Keep both cards in hand. Hoth Lieutenant is a great pickup here. That is actually going to give us lethal with a Snoke attack. So that's pretty sweet. That is pretty sweet. Power of the Dark Side will defeat this. Hoth Lieutenant, and that's GG. All right. I mean, my opponent looked like they had a pretty bad hand, but we did beat one of the better decks of set 5. So that's not bad at all. Alrighty, into the next game, we got ourselves a Han Force Blue, which is always just a little bit scary, to be honest. Lots of events here. Honestly, I don't mind this hand at all. I'm gonna resource the Precision Fire, probably the Battle Fury, just because they got Fell the Dragons and things like that, you know, just kind of set us up for failure. We're gonna go First Order Stormtrooper and probably just Daring Raid plus Tarkin Town here. I know this potentially could set us up poorly, but I do think we really need to be putting on some early game pressure to our opponents. We might even go Force Choke here plus Experience Token, right? We'll see what my opponent's got. But if they have Yaddle and we're playing First Order Stormtrooper and getting an Experience Token, we are by far losing that game. And oof, that is not a card I really wanted to see, to be honest. Iterant Warrior is probably the card I wanted to see the least. That's attack in, will deal indirect damage to our opponent. Shielded unit is really, really rough. My opponent probably had the cards that I was not wanting to see the most. So that's just a little bit unfortunate in our case. But, you know, sometimes that happens. Yaddle on turn 1, making them so they didn't have to use Tarkin Town, or we couldn't use Tarkin Town into them, was one consideration. And then the other thing was having a shielded unit was the other thing that was really, really bad for us. I do like Force Choke here. We can go Grand Inquisitor, and hopefully, I mean, they probably have Force Throw. If they're using the action from Han, they probably have Force Throw. Yeah, I mean, it's unfortunate, but it is what it is. We're going to go discard that Force Choke, and we will have my opponent take the indirect damage, and then we're going to go Overwhelming Barrage. We're going to claim initiative, because if I were to do anything else, it's going to be pretty bad for us. Let's resource the Daring Raid. I'm just going to drop the Overwhelming Barrage. Hopefully they, you know, figure it out. But yeah, that was a very powerful couple of cards for my opponent, and that puts us in a pretty rough spot here for sure. Not over yet, but still, that was definitely bad. Han is not a favorable matchup at all. Don't want to see the Grogu's. Don't want to see a lot of different things. Rebellious Hammerhead hit us for 4. All right, we'll get in for 6. They can play the Hammerhead, or they can attack base. It's fine. Okay, I mean, how many troopers do we have? 2 troopers, so we're going to get a 3/5. I think I'd rather play the Grand Inquisitor. Let's just go with Grand Inquisitor here. We'll see what my opponent's got. I mean, they can't force throw us, but they could. I mean, they don't have the force. They can't Mace Windu us either. But I mean, they have Anakin or something, which would be a little bit unfortunate. I mean, they could still force throw us, but it's not going to be like that bad. Luke is obviously horrible for us. Don't want to see a Luke. That would be really, really sad. Probably end the game, to be honest. Chirrut's pretty bad too. All right, let's go ahead and put an experience token on. I mean, they don't have the force. That's one saving grace. We're going to go Sith Legionnaire here. I'm going to deploy Snoke here. And then, I mean, I will be able to attack and kill off Chirrut, which is nice. So we're going to pass and then hopefully pick up something pretty decent. I mean, 2 events that are at least applicable to the game isn't the worst. And I mean, at least Precision Fire can give Sith Legionnaire a Saboteur buff, which is pretty nice. But we'll see what they end up having here. Again, they can play all sorts of different things that would be very, very scary for us. One of those things, though, is not a Crate Dragon. Crate Dragon wouldn't really do much. I mean, they couldn't play it anyways. I mean, I guess Rebellious Hammerhead isn't enough to really knock out too many things. Luke would be pretty good, but I don't know if that's actually enough for them. They can knock out Sith Legionnaire, which is always good. Looks like that's what they're going to start with. So let's go with an immediate attack with the Grand Inquisitor here. And remember, Snoke is a force unit. So, I mean, maybe we can, you know, draw a couple cards here in the next couple of turns. Maybe do a couple different plays like Force Choke, Overwhelming Barrage, Force Choke, or something like that, you know, something crazy. We'll see what they've got. They've got a Chirrut. I think I'll just kill Chirrut. Oh, I shouldn't have done that. I should have Force Choked it. I don't know what I was thinking. What am I thinking, guys? They're gonna attack base. Let's go ahead and claim initiative. And then they've got an Owen Lars. Overwhelming Barrage. Okay, so the question is, do I want to just immediately attack? Or do I want to do something else? The General Talk doesn't really do anything. Because I can go Overwhelming Barrage, but... yeah, I mean, if they have like a Luke, what happens? I mean, Luke basically ends the game. What do I want to do here? I think I'll just start with an attack into base. Because if they do have something that's going to shrink down my unit or kill off Grand Inquisitor, they need to do it now. Okay, well, that's just GG. GG. We got there. Wow, I can't believe we got there with how that game started. The Yaddle into Iterant Warrior into Ki-Adi-Mundi plus Force Throw is really, really a tough one. So my other option there on the previous turn was just to Force Choke the Chirrut and then attack into base, which I should have done. I should have done with the Snoke. That was such a silly mistake to make because I'm literally holding on. I was just talking about Force Choke, but it is what it is. On to the next one. Alrighty, into the next game. I'm gonna go ahead and keep this one. Seems pretty reasonable to me. Precision Fire HK gonna go to the resource pile, looking for maximum power. I think we fought this guy earlier, by the way, the Colossus Piet. They're gonna claim initiative. We're gonna go with double 1-drop here. They're probably gonna have a Power of the Dark Side. Force Choke just completely worthless in this matchup. But yeah, Power of the Dark Side Merciless Contest. They have all sorts of removal. Last time we fought them earlier, it was double power, double Merciless Contest. So we just need to keep putting threats out. So if we keep drawing events like Force Choke, Daring Raid, we're going to be pretty sad. Oh, they got, okay, never mind. They're going to go with a resupply, which is kind of risky. Not that they have many options, but I mean, it is kind of risky because we have a lot of power on the board at the current moment. It's going to get a little bit crazy a little bit quickly. Battle Fury looks pretty good. I might just... I think the Phase 3 Dark Trooper is probably going to be the one to go. We'll see what my opponent decides to do here with their play. Are they just going to deploy Piet? Got resupply carrier. Interesting. I think what I'm going to do is actually go Battle Fury. If I go Battle Fury, that forces my opponent to not be able to deploy Piet, and then we're going to be able to get in more damage. So that means that, let's say I didn't go Battle Fury and I just went with like, oh, they're going to pass. I mean, this is fine. This is totally fine, by the way. I'm getting some damage here. Okay, they're going to deploy Piet. And do I want to even kill Piet here? Yeah, I think it's fine. I think it will just knock out Piet here. I think they were smart to just deploy it. You're really not doing anything too crazy if you're not deploying here. It's just kind of requirements to deploy. You just have to. We'll see if they have an answer to Death Star Stormtrooper. If they don't, the game's probably over. Turbo laser salvo. All right, well, that's a good one. Yeah, that's a good one. That's awesome. Good stuff for my opponent. They're gonna wipe the board. We're gonna pass. We've got a couple of units here. We'll resource one of the Hoth lieutenants, get a Sith Legionnaire down, and we will see what my opponent decides to do. We got Power of the Dark Side coming in. Let's go ahead and deploy my... Ooh, actually, we can't deploy Snoke. They could have another Power of the Dark Side here, which would be real bad for us. But yeah, well, I mean, we'll see if we get there. Turbo Laser Salvo is kind of a disgusting card. They got Restore going on. That's going to be pretty brutal as well. Let's go attack in. That's a good amount of damage, right? I mean, putting some pressure on. I mean, we got a couple of units in hand now. I mean, not the worst. We'll see what my opponent's got as a follow-up. Do they have another Turbo Laser Salvo? That would be incredible if they did. I'll just get an attack in with Snoke. It's going to be 6 damage into the base. Technically, they don't even have a lethal on us yet. Let's get in for 4, and that is GG if they don't have an answer to Snoke. Okay, they got Super Laser Blast. I mean, you know, sometimes your opponent just has it all. Sometimes they got the Turbo Laser Cell plus the Super Laser Blast. You know what I mean? Sometimes they got it all. Let's go ENOCH. I mean, that is basically lethal here. Let's keep both cards in hand, and let's see what they've got as a response here. Devastator, Knockout, ENOCH. That is going to be GG. They got no answer to that. Wow, they had it all. They had it all, huh? I mean, we had a precision fire. But that isn't quite enough. Let's pass and GG. We had a good start, but they had the Turbo Laser Salvo and the Super Laser. They had double Wrath here, which was really critical. So GG to my opponent. But you know what? That is kind of what the deck does. So not super surprised to see all of that. I think the critical turn there was knocking out Piet. The way I was thinking is like they're more likely to have capital ships that I'd be worried about that could, you know, disrupt my plan than they are to have events that could disrupt my plan. In this case, they happen to have the events, Turbo Laser Salvo and Super Laser Blast, so I should have just attacked base in that spot, and that might have given me the answer that I needed to be able to close out the game, but GG. Alrighty, into game number whatever this is, up against Kit Fisto Yellow. I like this hand because I have initiative, which means I can drop like an HK here, and then I can drop Force Choke on turn 2 to prevent them from doing their whole getting the Force and all that stuff, assuming they don't have a Space Jedi. Oh, they got the Force anyways. Ah, come on now. That's just rude. Is it not? That is just rude. All right, we'll see what they decide to do here as a follow-up. They did get the Force, which is pretty good. But I think I'm just going to put an experience token on my unit here. And we'll see what they decide to do afterwards. Let's go experience token. We'll go Sith Legionnaire afterwards. And maybe we'll get there. Maybe we won't. But, I mean, even an attack with a Youngling Padawan plus a trigger from Kit Fisto doesn't kill my HK. So I think I'm fine with this. I am a little bit worried because I can't really deploy Sith Legionnaire as a blind option here. Oh, I'm going to go Sabine Wren, huh? It's a little bit surprising, to be honest. I'll kill off the Youngling Padawan, to be honest, because I don't want them to be using their action with Kit Fisto. I would have expected them to just attack into base or something here to be able to use Kit Fisto's action. Now we can go ahead and play the Sith Legionnaire. We got another HK, which probably is going to die this turn, but that's fine because I'll go one of these 3 drops and put an experience token on it, so that's totally fine. ENOCH looking pretty bad here, by the way. Wow, another... Okay. Yeah, I think I'm gonna play the controlling game here. I think I'm just gonna knock out Sabine. It's gonna leave HK alive, and then I can give an experience token over to the Sith Legionnaire, and then they can force throw. That's fine. Let's discard the Guavian Antagonizer. They have to hit HK now. It's totally fine. Let's go with Grand Inquisitor here. Do they have another force throw? That would make things a little bit tricky for sure. I don't want to see a second force throw. That would make me sad. I feel like they have it. I feel like they have it. No, they just claimed initiative. Okay, okay. Let's put an experience token. Let's knock out Adi Galea and let's pass. Force choke, looking decent. I think the Guavian Antagonizer looks pretty bad here. We can go ENOCH or Phase 3 Dark Trooper plus Force choke plus experience token from Snoke. So I'm liking our situation. No actions from Kit Fisto whatsoever so far. They've had a kind of an awkward start, to be honest, for them. Impossible escape, huh? And use the Force, and they're gonna exhaust something. Okay, let's just put a Sentinel down. Just put a Sentinel down. I think that's gonna work out pretty nicely for us. I might go Force choke. We'll see. Quinlan Voss, huh? I mean, that's a really nice Force choke target. So I think we'll just go with that. And we'll see what my opponent decides to do here. Kit Fisto deploy. They're gonna deploy. Okay. Let's just go with Force choke here. They can draw a card. Now it's a 1/6. I mean, this is what I was talking about Kit Fisto before. I was like, Kit Fisto's a 1/6, man. It's rough out there. Oh, they are attacking. Wow, I'm surprised that they are actually attacking into the Phase 3 Dark Trooper. It's going to get an extra experience token from this. Very surprised this is what they want to do. I'm going to knock out Kit Fisto just because it's kind of like a free kill. I mean, again, I said I was going to play the more controlling game, and Kit Fisto's usually a more aggressive go-wide deck. I am pretty happy with how we're at right now. Oh, I probably should have resourced the Phase 3, but that's fine. I could have gone experience token on top of the Sith Legionnaire. Okay, so they're going to ambush, but I mean, they're just going to get rid of the Phase 3 Dark Trooper. We're going to play another one just in case they have a second Ahsoka to knock out my Sith Legionnaire or something. So we're just going to drop a, yeah. All right, GG, I guess. I think there's a couple different things there that could have done a little bit differently, but they just had a kind of a weak hand, it seemed like. So not bad at all. All right, what do we learn with Snoke Tarkin Town? Well, it was a lot of fun, and we actually did utilize the new ENOCH and General Tog to incredible effectiveness. Like Tog, there were multiple times where we got a fall 3 experience counters, and then ENOCH, I mean, sometimes it was dropping in as a 3 resource 5/5, 6/5. I even saw a 7/5 ENOCH. It definitely did some work in this deck, not even being full troopers. Snow Trooper, pretty mediocre. Didn't even get to see it play, I think, once. But Hoth Lieutenant definitely did some good work as well. So I definitely think Hoth Lieutenant is a pretty interesting card. I think that it was kind of spicy of them to put the... the rest of the cards pretty weak in the set, and then they have this one card in the Battle for Hoth set that are the little intro decks. And I'm like, oh yeah, this is something that people will get used to for normal play. I think the sets are actually really cool, but overall it was a lot of fun just playing a bunch of troopers, getting aggro, and then getting absolutely trounced by a certain decks for sure. We did beat a Talzin Red, did beat a Han Blue, did beat Kit Fisto Yellow, not that that's saying all that much, but we did do it all, and I had a lot of fun. So hopefully you all enjoyed. If you're looking for a budget list, this is definitely something you could pick up. Now before you're like, okay, budget, but he's got HK and Grand Inquisitor in there. You don't have to play HK or Grand Inquisitor. This could easily be Fifth Brother in Grand Inquisitor's spot. I mean, Fifth Brother in some cases is actually just going to be better. I chose Grand Inquisitor because of the hidden mainly, and it's got one extra point of power, and then HK can be really anything. Just something like a 2-drop. You can play that. So if you're interested in playing a little bit of a budget deck and running in and getting aggro, yeah, just replace those two. You can even replace Overwhelming Barrage. That's a $3 card. You'd slap in something else like an Open Fire or more units. It's totally fine. Totally fine. Thanks for watching. I'll see you all for the next one.